it's Neil here with Wasted Paper. The pen I'm going to be reviewing for you today is a Conklin pen, which is actually my first Conklin pen. I've used some pens that are similar. They get compared to Monteverde and a few others because they're all under the Jaffa brand umbrella. But Conklin is its own brand. It is just distributed through them, and I'm excited to check them out. As far as packaging goes, we just have a dark, almost navy color slipcase over a box. It has their branding. It has what the pen is. I did buy a Duragraph. I don't know where that falls in line with their other pens, but it wasn't their cheapest. It definitely wasn't their most expensive. I kind of went middle of the road here. Inside of the slipcase, we have the box, which does look very similar to the Monteverde box, just with their branding. Inside, we have the pen with a nice, almost feels like felt maybe, lined box. Underneath the bottom piece here, you actually have instructions, and you have two inks. Looks like a blue and a black. That's generally what they come with, so I can assume those are that. Inside of the box, you have the pen, and you have a little note. The note shows how to open the pen and use the converter, and on the back here, it just says, "Thank you for purchasing." Now we have the pen. I was expecting more of an amber look to it. It is still orange and has that kind of aesthetic almost, but I'll show the picture now. And that is what I saw when I purchased this. I was expecting it to have more of that amber look, but I mean, this is still technically amber. It's got that translucent orange with some chatoyance. It's got different black spots on it. Those black are solid black. Well, some of them are a little bit of give. Most of it's solid black, so you can't see through that, but you can see through the orange. On the top finial, they are both flat. You have Conklin established in 1898, and then on the back finial, you don't have anything, just solid black. The pen does unscrew. Ooh, barely any threads. Let's see here. One turn. That's pretty good. That doesn't happen too often. Let me show you that one more time. Comes off with one turn. That's pretty nice. Here's an up-close look at the nib. You can see that crescent moon breather hole really well. You also have their logo, and it says Toledo, USA, which is where the nib should be manufactured and made. Then you have an M on the side for what the size of the nib is, and you have your plastic feed. The pen does have a clip, and you can see the band that goes around the top up here. It also has that same matching band on the bottom. Additionally, there is a cap band on here. It says Conklin. It shows their crescent moon, and then it says Duragraph right there with some more crescent moons. I don't know if they're called crescent moons or half moons. I'm pretty sure they're called crescent moons, though. The clip on here is extremely stiff. Like, you can use your pressure to actuate it, but that is a very stiff clip. I'm going to be inking this pen with Monteverde Pumpkin Cake. The reason I'm going with this is the pen's body already kind of gives me like a fall vibe, and this is just going to complement it more. This is a brown ink, but it does have orange undertone to it. I guess it could look both ways depending on how you're looking at it in the light. For the writing sample, we're going to use my favorite go-to, my Tomoe River notebooks. When looking at the writing up close, you can really see the shading of this ink. I tend to push kind of heavy towards the end when I'm lifting my hand off the page, so you can really see that in the writing. You can see how it's much lighter here, and then it gets darker as it goes down. It's pretty consistent across my words, too, when you look at this, when you look at that. Here, the beginning of dog was really light compared to the end of it. I really do like this ink, and I think this is a great fall ink. I didn't hear about this one until recently. I was just looking up different browns, and this one came across my radar. And I was looking at oranges too, technically. But this came across my radar, and I'm pretty happy with it. This is a steel nib, so I'm not expecting to see a lot of flex, if any, but I still want to check it out. So here's with no pressure, and here's with none, with none. You can see some line variation, but I'm zoomed in a lot to make this happen, so I wouldn't expect much of any. It is steel nib again, but this is a very soft nib. I will give it lots of credit for that. For size comparisons, I'm going to use my go-to pens, which is a Lamy Safari and a Pilot Custom 823. People generally know what the sizes of these are, so I like to go with them. When looking at them, the Lamy Safari is just a tiny bit smaller, and then the Conklin 823, oh Jesus, sorry, the Pilot Custom 823 is definitely bigger. Looking at them too, I noticed there's a lot of similarities with these bodies. The way the pen cap's a little bit bigger, they're both flat on top. They're definitely different, but the Lamy Safari is the most similar pen in design to the Conklin. Let's look at them uncapped now. When looking at them uncapped now, the 823 is still a bit longer, but now the Lamy Safari is much closer. It was already like just a hair bigger, now it's even closer. What's interesting though is obviously the Lamy Safari has proprietary nibs because of that. Look at the nib size difference there. You can just see a huge change for a pen that's relatively the same size. That being said, the grip sections on the 823 and the Conklin are very, very similar. There's definitely some difference. This looks a bit more narrow at its most narrow, but it's super similar. This is probably where we get the biggest departure when you look at them posted. So the Lamy Safari is now clearly shorter, and the 823 is clearly shorter. Since this has that metal ring there, it doesn't really post deep. I don't know if this is supposed to be posted to begin with, though. Like, it seems like it would be with that, but it definitely gets back heavy, and I can feel that when it is posted. All that being said, though, it is obviously the longest once it is posted. One thing I'd like to talk about before I give my final thoughts is the price of this pen. The MSRP on this pen looks to be about $75, but you kind of see it everywhere for around $60. I got this on a today's deal on Amazon. I got that with, they had a discount code, which I don't know was supposed to work with it at the time, but I ended up paying $18 for this pen. So I got a cap or a threaded capped pen with a converter, two cartridges for $18. Now that's a steal, and we're talking 18 after tax. There was 18 and some change, but it was a steal. For that price, I think this pen is just super worth it. To be honest with you, that's actually a really good way to get your first steps into the fountain pen like hobby or whatever you want to call it. You could call it the fountain pen life. The only critique I really have, I guess I technically have two. One is this clip is very stiff. I think with time it can break in, but out of the box, it's very, very stiff. The other thing is my resin here. So I don't mind this color at all, and I actually think it looks good if you're trying to go for a fall theme like I was here, but it doesn't match the pictures that I see on Amazon. I'm gonna put that picture up again. And then I even saw the same pictures on a few other sites like Applebaum, but I did find a picture on Gold Spot pens, which I'm gonna show here. That is the only one that I feel like resembles this remotely. It has a few pictures on there, but that one to me, I can tell a lot more what I'm getting. Because these other pictures, I really don't think do it justice. And I don't think that's wrong, especially if you want what you get right here, but you really need to make sure that the picture is accurate so you're advertising what you should be getting. Other than those two critiques, though, I mean, at my price point, it's really hard to even complain about that. Now, if I paid the full $60, yeah, I'd have a different opinion. But at $18, again, a threaded cap pen has a clip, has a cartridge, or sorry, has two cartridges, has a converter. I think that's a great price. And I think if you can find this pen for like around what I did, even at the $30 price point it is on Amazon right now, it's on sale. Even that I think is good. For 60 though, I just think they need to get the pictures and the images they're using correct, or just use the ones on Goldspot because those to me are way, way, way more accurate and close to what we're looking at here. All that being said, thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below.